Question number 3. A mutual fund that had a net asset value of rupees 20 at the beginning of the month made income and capital gain distribution of rupees 0.0375 and rupees 0.03 per share respectively during the month, and then ended the month with a net asset value of rupees 20.06. Calculate the monthly return. Okay, so we need to calculate the monthly return. First, what is NAV? So, NAV is nothing but the rate or price at which mutual fund units are purchased or redeemed. How does this NAV fluctuate? Okay, so in case of equity shares, the price in secondary market will go up and will go down based on demand and supply, right? Of course, this will be based on market sentiment and company's performance, right? So, in case of equity shares, the price will fluctuate based on its demand and supply, which is dependent on the market sentiment and company's performance. So, how does mutual funds NAV change? So, what is a mutual fund? Now, let us see. This is mutual fund A, okay, and it is holding so many stocks. Okay, together they are called mutual funds portfolio. Okay, every day based on demand and supply, all these stocks will fluctuate, right? Their price will fluctuate. So, since this mutual fund is holding these stocks, even its NAV will fluctuate, right? Because its value is dependent on these stocks, right? So that is the reason even its NAV will fluctuate daily. Now, what is the question? What should we find? We have to find the holding period return, that is return generated during the period held. Okay, so suppose when I invested, the NAV was rupees 10. Let us assume this. Okay, now the NAV rose to rupees 11. So this is opening NAV and this is closing NAV, right? So if somebody asks me what is the return that you have generated, what will I say? See, when I invested, the value was 10, now it rose to 11. So the return generated is 11 minus 10, that is rupees 1, right? Now, if I have some distributions received from the fund house in the form of income or capital gains distribution, okay, let us say this is 0.2 per unit and this is 0.3 per unit. Okay, so now if I want to find my return, so to this one I will add this and this and then the sum of it I will consider it to be my return, right? Because not only the change in NAV but also the distributions received in the form of income and capital gain should be considered to find out the total return generated by the mutual fund during the period held, right? So I'll consider this 1 rupee, I'll consider this 0.2, I'll consider this 0.3. All these three I have received, and these distributions I already received, and it is in my bank account, and this I am holding it. So on a notional basis I am considering the return to be 1 here, okay, based on the change in NAV, okay. So what is the total return generated? It is rupees 1 plus rupees 0.2 plus rupees 0.3, that is rupees 1 plus 0.2 plus 0.3, that is 1.5, right? This is the return generated. Now what is return percentage? It is nothing but return by opening NAV. How much did I invest per unit? It is nothing but opening NAV, 10, right? So it is rupees 1.5 by rupees 10, that is 0.15, that is nothing but 15%, right? So this is how we will find out the return, right? So now what did I do? So I have taken rupees 11 minus rupees 10, okay, this is the change in NAV. Then to this I have added rupees 0.2 and I also added rupees 0.3, right? And I divided this entire thing by rupees 10, right? 1 plus 1 plus 0.2 plus 0.3, okay. So what are these? This is nothing but change in NAV, and this together is nothing but distributions per unit, and this is opening NAV, right? And this individually is closing NAV, and this is opening NAV. So if I have to create a formula for this, what would be the formula? Holding period return is equal to change in NAV, that is nothing but closing NAV minus opening NAV plus per unit distributions divided by opening NAV. So this is the formula that I am going to use to solve this problem. Okay, now let us start solving the problem. Question number 3. Given that opening NAV, closing NAV distributions in the form of income and capital gain. So what are the values? Rupees 20 and rupees 20.06, rupees 0.0375 and rupees 0.03, right? So holding period return, that is closing NAV minus opening NAV plus distributions by opening NAV, that is rupees 20.06 minus rupees 20 plus rupees 0.0375 plus rupees 0.03. Okay, this total divided by rupees 20. We get the value upon calculation as 20.06 minus 20 plus 0.0375 plus 0.03 divided by 20, that is 0.6375%. Therefore, monthly return is, here what is the holding period? It is 1 month. So monthly return is 0.6375%. This is the solution to the problem.